attention that everybody loves the savory taste of jerky. However, it's an extremely expensive product to buy in stores pre-made. So today, Matt and I are going to show you a couple of different ways that you can make jerky. First, we'll start with things you're going to need. You're going to need, first off, meat of your choice. You can have pretty much any kind. My personal favorite is deer, but you can use beef, pork, chicken. Some people even do fish.
Geese.
I think that's kind of gross, fish. But
you put vegetables in there too.
Yeah, you can do vegetables and fruits too, but I'm not into that. You're going to need a cutting board to cut your meat if you do it my way. We're going to show you two different ways here, the way Matt does and the way I do it. And a knife. And you're going to need a dehydrator, either a bowl or a plastic bag to marinate your meat in, and then any ingredients you want for either seasonings or marinades.
And for my way, it's basically the same. You need your ground meat, you need your dehydrator. Instead of a knife, you use a jerky gun, and then instead of marinades, you can use bags of seasoning. That's what you need for my way of making
The big difference is I'm going to use a whole cut of meat, and he's going to use ground meat in his recipe. So that's what the big difference is. So the first thing, obviously mine, is a whole cut of meat. It's best to use the leanest meats because fat does not dehydrate very well. It gets kind of chewy and gross when you dehydrate it. So it's best to use the leanest cuts of meat you can find. And you're going to want to cut it about 1/4 of an inch thick or less than that. It has to be really thin to be able to dehydrate in a reasonable amount of time and taste good. And then after you do that, you're going to put it all in a bowl like this, and you're going to make your marinade. So there's tons and tons of different marinades you can make. You can look them all up on the internet if you want, but I've kind of developed my own. I've just made it really simple by, instead of measuring everything out, I just say, I use one container of soy sauce, and then for every one of those I use a 1/2 of Worcestershire sauce, so that way it's a lot simpler for me to do rather than having to measure it all out. I just use half the amount of Worcestershire as I do soy sauce. And then 1 or 2 tablespoons of honey if you want it to be a little sweeter, and then just sprinkle garlic powder. You can use onion powder too. If you want to be a little spicier, you can use cayenne pepper and also black pepper for a marinade.
So if you're like me, Ira has a good variety of different ingredients, but I don't like all the hassle. So with mine, you just basically put all your ground meat into a big bowl. You normally want a pretty big bowl, so you can fit all your meat into. Then basically you just pick out your seasonings. I have original here. You can use hickory, garlic, pepper, Cajun, barbecue. There's so many different kinds of seasonings. And then after you just rip it open, pour it in with your meat, and you just mix it all up in the bowl until it's good and thoroughly mixed, and you're ready to use the gun. But we'll get to that next.
Blake, we need your help, buddy. Want to come up here? So Blake is going to make his own marinade today that he would use for jerky. So first, you're probably going to want to start with your soy sauce. You're going to use half as much Worcestershire as soy. You have half of a bottle of Worcestershire. You're going to use a full bottle of soy, correct?
Correct.
All right. Get to it. Like I said, there's tons of different ones you can use. I've done before. Use you're gonna want to pop that plastic piece out there. I've used Frank's Red Hot sauce and then powdered ranch dressing on it, and that was really good. You can also add some teriyaki to it. That's pretty good. You want half the amount of Worcestershire. And you can look up a lot on the interweb, but I kind of just like to experiment and do whatever.
And if you're not as lucky as me and Ira and dehydrators, you just have deer meat. If you soak your deer meat in this for, 4 hours or so, then put it on the grill. It's really good too.
1 or 2 tablespoons. What do you prefer? You might not want honey at all. It's your preference. All recipes are completely customizable. Ooh.
The good thing about making your own is you can decide what you want.
Yeah, and this way you'll get a little bit more flavor because letting it marinate, the meat will soak up all the different things that you're putting in there. But it'll also cost a little bit more because you're using a lot more ingredients, and it might take a little bit longer to dry out because it's soaking up a lot of things. Yeah.
Then the other thing is when you go to get your Jack Link's beef jerky at the store, it costs you $6 for 10 little pieces.
Yeah.
If you make it our way or do it your own, you get you can do as much as you want, depending on how much meat you got.
It's also a really great way of preserving meat. It lasts a really long time after you dehydrate it. Well, that's pretty good there.
Good job, buddy.
So once you have your meat in your marinade, you're going to want to marinate it anywhere from about 15 to 24 hours in the refrigerator is best.
So as he said, you have to marinate in the fridge. My way, you just literally, you pour your mixes in, you get it all ready to go, and you can go to the hydrator right away. You don't got to put it in the fridge to wait. You can do it all that day.
So then, fast forward 15 hours, and this is a dehydrator. They come in a lot of different sizes, shapes, price ranges, and everything. I did not get the chance to clean this before or after making the batch. Here's some marinated meat that I have. This has been marinating for about 24 hours now. And you're just gonna wanna set it around all the trays. And it's best, since this one's in a circular pattern, just go all the way around it in a circle. And as you can see, this has multiple trays, and you can set meat on all those trays or whatever you're dehydrating.
So Ira does it that way, and the dehydrator gets a little dirty. Now you're like, dirty dehydrator. So I don't need that with the gun because you're not getting any extra marinated sauce all over your gun there. So anyway, when you're ready to put your meat on the dehydrator, you just twist it off like that, and throw your meat in the gun tool there. Put her back in. Make sure it's tight. Load it up, and then you just go around, and then you just squirt your jerky out. This pushes your jerky out into the table, which is actually really nice and handy. So you don't have to sit there and delay one every one. But this is a really small one. It's not really worth the damn. I could probably go throw this away, to be honest with you. The one we use is probably about this big, and this one, it's heavy duty. This is kind of plastic. I was surprised it didn't break on the way to school today. Pretty soft.
Alright, so then you just, depending on what dehydrator you have, you set it up how it's supposed to. And I know a dehydrator I used to have, you could change it like what temperature it is, but this one just has one standard temperature, which I believe is like 170 degrees Fahrenheit. So obviously it's at an extremely low heat. That's gonna make sure that it doesn't like cook it, but it just gets all the moisture out of it. And you're gonna want to do that for about 4 to 6 hours. This is how long it'll take. And at the end, you'll have a finished product like this. I just touch wrong thing, so you touch it.
Alright, but anyway, as you're going through your jerky, you don't want to be touching your jerky as you're checking it. And if you just bend right away and it cracks or breaks, you don't have a very good.
Yeah, the best way to know when it's done is it'll be kind of bendy, but if it cracks or if it like snaps when you bend it, then it's overdone. So, and 4 to 6 hours is usually how long it takes.
And you tell us, how do you think this tastes compared to your Jack Link's beef jerky? It's pretty similar.
Except for this, you're also eating deer.
Yeah, beef jerky.
gonna send you a quiz.